Hello everybody, what's good? Today we are going to do a deeper talk episode on this episode of the All Around Growth podcast. This is episode number 132 of the show. My name is Rob Kaiser and I am your host. This is a show that is intended to provide some insight and tools to help you build the life and homestead of your dreams. Not only build it, but grow it, develop it, hone it, and refine it. What exactly is the deeper talk thing that I'm talking about? What is a deeper talk episode? Well, it's where I pull a card from a deck, I guess, that's housed inside this neat little box. And the Deeper Talk deck is an expansion of the original Icebreaker deck, which is a deck of cards that has questions or prompts or little statements that will help you get to know people on a deeper level, have more interesting and meaningful conversations, and elevate your communication skills. In the Deeper Talk deck, there are 6 categories of these different 150 prompts. And those categories are courage, beliefs, life lessons, self-awareness, dreams, and exposed. So, if you are looking for a different way, a new way to connect with someone in your life and have deeper talk, but deeper conversations, check it out. You can find a link to what I'm talking about in the show notes today. And if you use the code YMF, which is short for York Meadow Farm, an acronym for York Meadow Farm, rather, you will get 15% off of your first order. So now that I'm at the end of the driveway and about to hit the road into town to run some errands before I actually head into work, let's pull a card at random, no category, no nothing. We're just going to roll with whatever I pull out. And it is the question from the dreams category. And what's your go-to strategy for achieving your goals? All right, this is a great question, very appropriate for the show, and very appropriate for what we've all got going on in our lives. My go-to strategy for achieving my goals is a combination of strategies that is always being developed, refined, and open to change. Because if there's one thing that I've learned in this life, is that the way that I understand things, and the way that I know things, and the way that I perceive things isn't always the best way, nor is it the right way. And the sooner I was able to understand that, the better off I was. So, with that said, I will expand on some of the strategies that I use for achieving my goals. And what I would like to do is encourage you to share your own strategies with me and the rest of the community at t.me/allaroundgrowth on your strategies for achieving your goals. If you have the Telegram Messenger app on your phone, you can simply look for the group by the name All Around Growth. You will find us there. Or if you are on any internet browser, just search for t.me/allaroundgrowth and you will find us there. You can download Telegram onto your desktop and simply connect with us that way. It's the best, easiest way to connect with the core group of listeners who are talking about the show, our lives, and so much more. So one of the best ways that I have begun to use to achieve my goals has been the self-journal. And I know I talk about this a lot, but it is part of my life. And it's been a part of my life for almost 2 years now. And I use it almost daily. Not every day. Sometimes I skip a day. Sometimes I skip 2. Or sometimes I'm only journaling once a day. I try to journal both in the morning and the evening as part of my desired ritual. But the reality is sometimes life doesn't really go the way that I expect it to every single day. And I don't get around to journaling every single day. But in the journal, there are sections for you to outline 3 specific goals, each with 2 pages, and prompts throughout the 13 weeks that encourage you to reflect back on the goals that you set, track the goals, and measure the goals in a couple of different ways. And then at the end of the 13 weeks, there is another prompt or set of prompts at the end of the journal, which encourage you to follow up from the beginning. Admittedly, I do not use all of the journal in the way that it is designed to be used and intended to be used, but I'm getting better at it. And ultimately what it is doing is encouraging me to be more mindful of the goals that I have and really buckle down to make the progress on the goals that I have. And if anything, focus on some of the goals, because the reality is I have more than 3 goals, and it's easy for me to get caught up in a pattern of overthinking. And I'm reading a book now called Soundtracks that talks about this very idea of overthinking and how negative overthinking specifically can be a soundtrack to your life, much like there's a soundtrack to a movie. And if you have a favorite movie that you've seen a number of times, you know the soundtrack to that movie quite well. If you can apply the same logic to your life, the thoughts that are on repeat, especially the negative thoughts in your mind, are the soundtracks of your life. And if those are persistent enough, prevent you from achieving your goals, regardless of what your strategy actually is. So, if you find yourself unable to achieve some of the goals that you have in life, and if you find yourself unable to make satisfactory progress with the goals that you have in your life, consider taking a look at not only your goals, but everything that is on your to-do list, and really analyze what it is in life that you need to do. Can you delegate some of that out? Can you delete some of that from your list? What can you do to remove some of those items so that you can focus on making progress and ultimately achieving the goals that you've set for yourself? Because that's another strategy that we oftentimes don't talk about enough, because it's so simple. Well, rather it's simple, but it's not easy. Okay? It's easy to get hung up and overwhelmed with everything that we need to do in life, everything that we need to do at work, everything we need to do in our personal lives, everything we need to do in our spiritual lives, everything we need to do to maintain a healthy financial life. It's intense. It's overwhelming. So, in addition to the Best Self Journal and simply trying to remove things from my various lists, I also use a program called Nozbe, Nozbe, and it is a software program, cloud-based software program that integrates well with whatever system you use, whether it's Mac, iOS, Android, Windows, Linux. Obviously, I'm not that much of a tech guy, since I am struggling with the pronunciation of that particular word. But it's a great program that is able to adapt regardless of whatever platform you're using. So it's able to adapt to whatever platform you're using. And it integrates well with so many other programs that are likely your favorites for management of your stuff. Things that you've used for quite some time. Nozbe undoubtedly integrates with many of those as well, like Evernote, for example. So I use that, and that helps me track and maintain a lot of the things that are going on in life, and I can shut down or, quote, complete certain projects and then bring them back to life just to get them off my radar and, in a sense, remove them from my to-do list without actually removing them from my to-do list. So those are some of the various strategies that I use to achieve my goals. And like I said, I would very much like to hear from you and hear what your strategies are on achieving your goals. And the best way to do this and interact with all of us is in the Telegram group, t.me/allaroundgrowth. And if you've got the Telegram Messenger app on your phone, again, you can find us by searching for All Around Growth in the groups. You can find the Best Self Deeper Talk deck at bestself.com. And if you use the VIP code, the ambassador code, the promo code, whatever we want to call it, YMF, it's in York Meadow Farm. That'll give you 15% off your first order. If you have any questions or feedback, you can send them my way to allaroundgrowth@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you, and I hope that this show was a valuable use of your time and gave you some insight to maybe refine some of your own strategies for achieving your own goals here in this life. This is Rob Kaiser, and thank you.